Governor Lamont is building his new administration with a slew of appointments, but that has left some holes in the General Assembly. Special elections are coming up in a couple of weeks. Today, we talk with two people vying to replace the powerful Senator Tim Larson, Republican Sarah Muska, and Democrat Saud Anwar. Also, what about that grocery tax, tolls, and marijuana? State Representatives Pat Wilson-Phineas and Leslie Hill are on deck to face the state. Plus, what business leaders want Governor Lamont to change. We are joined by Sasha Allen and Brian Paganini. It's all straight ahead on Face the State this Sunday morning, February 10th, 2019.
From Eyewitness News, Connecticut's most watched local political program, this is Face the State.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:30. I'm Dennis House. Thanks for joining us for Face the State on this Sunday morning. Connecticut has another election day coming at us pretty fast, February 26th. Now, there will be races held in various cities and towns across the state to fill some open seats in the General Assembly left open by people who were hired by Governor Lamont. One of them was State Senator Tim Larson. And the two people who want to replace him are with us here today, and they are Sarah Muska. She is a Republican, and Saud Anwar, a Democrat. We thank you so much for being here in the program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
First question, I'm going to just, nice, easy one for you. Why do you want to be a state senator?
I think now more than ever we need to get a new generation of leadership. We need to reinstate common sense and balance in our state government. We need someone who is ready to actually represent the people of the district and of the state and not just go with a partisan politics at this time.
Dr. Anwar.
Well, who I am is why I'm running. I'm a physician, a critical care doctor with public health background, but I'm also a mayor of a town who's been serving for past 8 years in the town council, and this is my second term as a mayor. I'm a humanitarian, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I'm a son. And as a physician, I've been able to make a difference, but I have noticed that if we are working in public sphere, as a mayor, I've been able to expand that capacity to make a difference, and I'm hoping if the people would allow me and give me the permission, I would be able to make a bigger difference through the Senate position.
I want to talk about some of the issues that you'll be facing if you are elected, and feel free to jump in if you disagree with your opponent. But number one, I'll start with this higher minimum wage, mandatory minimum wage that's higher than it is right now. Do you support that right now, Ms. Muska?
I do not support
Why?
raising the minimum wage. It will actually hurt the small businesses. They will actually have to raise their product to be able, like restaurants, grocery stores, things of that nature, actually have to raise the cost of goods to be able to afford to pay that wage. And I feel the minimum wage is an entry-level position, not something that should be raised to $15 at this time.
Will you support that, Dr. Anwar?
So the fastest growing segment in our community and our society right now is the people who are working 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week, and they're still below the poverty level. They cannot make ends meet. We have to be able to work to help them out as a society. We are failing this community. I'm one of the founders of the Hunger Action Team. People who are full-time employed cannot afford their own food. And that's a problem, and we have to address this. And yes, we need to help the people out with the minimum wage to be able to have living wages, to be closer to living wages. And I think this is going to be an important issue for us.
How would you characterize, Dr. Anwar, the status of the Connecticut economy right now?
It is not in the best shape. We have actually a great opportunity in our state, but we are not living up to our opportunities. We have to change our climate, economic climate. We have to identify ways of actually bringing more businesses into the state, but more importantly, actually helping the existing businesses to be able to grow. And as a mayor, I recognize this very well. We've been very successful. In my second term, in the total 3 years that I've been serving as mayor, between the previous term and this one, we have been able to get $300 million worth of investments to our town of South Windsor.
Ms. Muska, how would you sum up the economy right now, the economic situation in our state?
I feel that the United States itself is moving forward and Connecticut is going backwards. I think we are not supporting our businesses. We are actually putting tougher laws and regulations on our business owners. I feel that we're in rough shape and we have a long way to go to catch up.
You know, it used to be that tolls was just a border issue for cities and towns that were near the Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New York borders, but now they're talking about potentially putting tolls in the middle of the state for congestion pricing. What is your take on tolls right now? Do you support that?
No, I do not support tolls.
In any way?
No, anything that's the tolls, 70% of the revenue coming from in-state drivers going to and from work. I will not support anything that will put a tax or another burden on the hardworking men and women of the state.
Dr. Anwar, do you support tolls?
So the 2016 study shows that 40% of the traffic of the entire region and the roads that we are looking at is coming from New York and Massachusetts. So we have to maintain our infrastructure. And the money is not going to grow in a magic manner. So we have a responsibility to maintain the infrastructure, but we have to do it in a smart manner. So I agree with Sarah that we have to protect the people who are vulnerable, but technology allows us to be able to charge the individuals who are using it from out of state to be able to maintain the infrastructure.
Do you want tolls at the borders or all across the state, like some have proposed?
It would be actually, so the technology allows you to be able to have the tolls in various areas of the state, which actually can be determined where the traffic is coming from out of state. So we have an opportunity to try and charge the trucks and some of the cars that are coming from out of state to be able to pay for that, because the gasoline tax isn't going to be able to take care of our infrastructure needs.
And I'll start with you on this one. You're a medical doctor.
Yes.
Legalizing marijuana, do you support it?
So I wear the doctor's hat in this situation. It's not as simple a solution to just legalize it, because there are downsides to it. We need to have protections in place. If somebody at a younger age starts to consume it, that will have long-term negative implications for their life, which are irreversible. And we need to have that protection in place for sure. When somebody says that they want to do it because it's going to create more revenue, I want to first make sure that there are protections for the communities that are in place before we look at the revenue alone as a solution. So I would support it with very, very strict specific criteria for the protection of the community, because the unintended consequences are something that we don't want to have to deal with. And I want to do more work before we would be able to say yes right away.
Do you support legalization?
I think we should be focusing on the opioid crisis instead of trying to legalize marijuana at this time. I think we have people dying every day of the opioids, and I think we need to focus on that at this time, not legalizing marijuana.
It hasn't been proposed, but it's certainly been talked about, and a lot of people let me know how they feel about it, a potential tax on groceries in Connecticut. Do you support that if elected?
Absolutely not. No, I would not support taxes on medication or groceries, or the new statewide property tax that's being spoken of, statewide car tax. I feel the people of the state are taxed enough. We need to actually look at reducing spending, being more fiscally responsible before adding more burdens on the people of the state.
Absolutely not, because this is a regressive tax. We do not want to impact the people who are actually spending money to have their food and their medicines. I mean, that's the most regressive thing one can think of. I'll just add one more thing. Before the budget season in my town, I actually live on $4.34. And the reason is that I want to recognize how people in the communities are living. So I feel this is not a good suggestion, whoever has made this suggestion.
And a quick final question. Your predecessor, Senator Tim Larson, was a big supporter of the casino in East Windsor. Do you support building it there, and should we even expand it to other towns and cities for casinos?
Well, I know in East Windsor, I've been in communication with the people in East Windsor, and there's a broader consensus in the community that they want it. I actually had a very detailed meeting with the chairman of the tribes, and actually was a part of their hearing as well. Absolutely, the community needs it there. We need to support it. It's 2,000 jobs, and we need to help them.
I'm definitely all for growing the economy and creating more jobs in our region, but I feel that we really need to focus on what's up front, no tolls, no more taxes on the people of the state.
Sarah Muska, Saud Anwar, best of luck on Election Day, February 26th. And when we come back, we will continue our discussion about this very controversial idea of a grocery tax with two new freshman lawmakers will be joining us. And we welcome you to watch past editions of Face the State right now on our YouTube channel and the WFSB app.